Madhava. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Is coming?
Yes, please.
Give me the cartels then. Prabhu, put it in, if you don't mind, so I can broadcast also.
Yeah, I need it.
Madhav, Hare Krishna. Give me that other one. This one. Yes. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Mother Visakha, Hare Krishna. Is that Mother Visakha? I haven't seen you for a long time. You're here? Okay. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Yasodanandana Braja Janaranjana. Yasodanandana Braja Janaranjana. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yasodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yasodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yasodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yasodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yasodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jai Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Radhe Radhe Jai Radha Gopinath Radha Gopinath Radhe Radhe Jai Radha Shama Sundar Radha Shama Sundar Radhe Radhe Jaya Krishna Balaram Krishna Balaram Krishna Balaram Jaya Krishna Balaram Jaya Panchatattva 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 Jaya Panchatattva Jaya Gauranitai 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 Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Jayam Vistupad Paramamsa Paribrajikacharya Asto Tarasachi Simad His Divine Grace, Srila Abhay Charanaravinda Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Jai Nitya Leela Pavishta Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Paribrajikacharya Astottara Satsi Srimad. His Divine Grace, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Goswami, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki Jai. Jai Shri Rup Shri Sanatan Bhatta Raghunath Shri Jiva Gopala Bhatta Das Raghunath Sad Goswami Prabhu ki Jai. Nama Acharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki Jai. Prem Shri Kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda ki Jai. Sisi Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shama Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan ki Jai. Shri Brajabhumi Vrindavan Dham ki Jai. Mathura Dham ki Jai. Sinavadvip Mayapur Dham ki Jai. Ganga Mai ki Jai. Yamuna Mai ki Jai. Tulsi Devi ki Jai. Bhakti Devi ki Jai. Sri Harinam Sankirtan ki Jai. Sankirtan Yagya ki Jai. Srila Prabhupada's Transcendental Book Distribution ki Jai. Shri Radhamadava ki Jai. Astasakis ki Jai. Shri Panchatattva ki Jai. Shri Mayapur ki Jai. Samaveda Bhaktavinda ki Jai. Itai Gopimanande. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Sri Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Shrimate Gopa Krishna Goswami Tamani Prabhupada Saitan Prakasha Vitirja Pacharangarvasarigat Patin Manoha. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesa Sunyavadi Paschatya Desatarine. Om Ajnana-timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manovistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayang Dadati Swapadantikam. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Juta Padakamalang Shri Gurung Vaishnavamscha. Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Sadvadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakam Vitamscha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesa Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavanishwari Visabhano Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripasindhubhyaevacha patitanam pabhanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivas Adi Gaura Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. We continue reading from the Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, chapter 15, the Pandavas retire timely. So today we have texts 25 and 26. And 26 verse is written on the board. So I will read first the text 25, and altogether we will read the text 26. Jalaukasāṁ jale yadvan mahānto danty aṇīyasaḥ durbalān balino rājan mahānto balino mithaḥ. Text 26. Evaṁ baliṣṭhair yadubhir mahadbhir itarān vibhuḥ yadūn yadubhir anyonyaṁ bhū-bhārān sañjahāra evaṁ baliṣṭhair yadubhir mahadbhir itarān vibhuḥ yadūn yadubhir anyonyaṁ vibhuḥ sañjahāra evaṁ baliṣṭhair yadubhir mahadbhir itarān vibhuḥ anyonyaṁ sañjahāra evaṁ baliṣṭhair yadubhir mahadbhir itarān vibhuḥ evaṁ baliṣṭhair yadubhir mahadbhir itarān vibhuḥ anyonyaṁ durbalān sañjahāra. Mataji's. Evaṁ baliṣṭhair yadubhir durbalān vibhuḥ yadūr anyonyaṁ evaṁ baliṣṭhair yadubhir mahadbhir vibhuḥ yadūn anyonyaṁ word for word meaning, jalaukasāṁ, of the aquatics, jale, in the water, yadvat, as it is, mahāntaḥ, the larger one, adanti, swallows, aṇīyasaḥ, smaller ones, durbalān, the weak, balinaḥ, the stronger, rājan, O king, mahānto, the strongest, balinaḥ, less strong, mithaḥ, in a duel, evam, thus, baliṣṭhair, by the strongest, yadubhir, by the descendants of Yadu, mahadbhir, one who has greater strength, itarān, the common ones, vibhuḥ, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, yadūn, all the yadus, yadubhir, by the yadus, anyonyaṁ, among one another, bhū-bhārān, the burden of the world, sañjahāra, has unloaded, in the past. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. O King, as in the ocean, the bigger and stronger aquatics swallow up the smaller and weaker ones, so also the Supreme Personality of Godhead, to lighten the burden of the earth, has engaged the stronger yadu to kill the weaker, and the bigger yadu to kill the smaller. Everybody please repeat. O King, as in the ocean, the bigger and stronger aquatics swallow up the smaller and weaker ones. So also, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, to lighten the burden of the earth, has engaged the stronger yadu to kill the weaker, and the bigger yadu to kill the smaller. Purport. In the material world, the struggle for existence and survival of the fittest are laws, because in the material world there is disparity between conditioned souls due to everyone's desire to lord it over the material resources. This very mentality of lording it over the material nature is the root cause of conditioned life. And to give facility to such imitation lords, the illusory energy of the Lord has created a disparity between conditioned living beings by creating the stronger and the weaker in every species of life. The mentality of lording it over the material nature and the creation has naturally created a disparity, and therefore the law of struggle for existence. In the spiritual world, there is no such disparity, nor is there such a struggle for existence. In the spiritual world, there is no struggle for existence, because everyone there exists eternally. There is no disparity because everyone wants to render service to the Supreme Lord. And no one wants to imitate the Lord in becoming the beneficiary. The Lord, being creator of everything, including the living beings, factually is the proprietor and enjoyer of everything that be. But in the material world, by the spell of Maya or illusion, this eternal relation with the Supreme Personality of Godhead is forgotten. And so, the living being is conditioned under the law of struggle for existence and survival of the fittest. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Jalaukasāṁ jale yadvan mahānto danty aṇīyasaḥ durbalān balino rājan mahānto balino mithaḥ evaṁ baliṣṭhair yadubhir mahadbhir itarān vibhuḥ yadūbhir anyonyaṁ bhū-bhārān sañjahāra. Hare Krishna. It's a very interesting verse explaining about the survival of the fittest due to the disparity of all the conditioned souls in the material world. Srila Prabhupada mentions the word disparity here. Disparity means unequal, uneven, difference. Some are greater and some are lower, or some are bigger and some are smaller. So disparity. I look at the dictionary, because Prabhupada words use this at least 3 times. Unevenness, disproportion, variance, dissimilitude, unlikeliness. The material world is like that. Because due to the conditioned souls lording it over to the material nature, and so we're given, each and every one, some degree of intelligence to fulfill our desires. And we would like to use the highest intelligence that we may have to fulfill this desire, to enjoy the sense objects with the senses. And therefore, everyone would just want to be the master of all their survey, as Prabhupada says, to be the Lord of all their survey. And if anyone will go onto their way, or in their way, to fulfill their desires for sense enjoyment, then they will do anything and everything to get rid of them. And this is the story of our life since time immemorial here in the material world. The struggle, Prabhupada used the word here. Was that word? Struggle for existence and survival of the fittest. That means I don't care, conditioned soul, I don't care for everyone and anyone. I just want to be numero uno, number one. It doesn't matter. Even in family, amongst the family members, sometimes there is a competition. Especially when it comes to money. Because money is the root cause of all evil if you don't use it for Lord Krishna's service or Lord Krishna's pleasure. We've heard these stories again and again. Even family members, they will not speak with each other when it comes to money matters. And that is the issue, because we've been in contact with the modes of material nature since time immemorial, since we got here in this material world, namely mode of passion and mode of ignorance, a little bit of mode of goodness, but still, as Prabhupada says, there is nothing good in this world. Even good is not good enough. Somehow or other, the bigger ones or the larger ones, the stronger ones, will always be dominating. As they say, the rich get more richer, and the poor gets more poorer. And the rich, they don't care about the poor. Now, even at the present, at this very moment, this so-called leader giant, the leader of Russia, trying to eat Ukraine, trying to conquer Ukraine. This is the nature of this material world. The Prabhupada says also, nectar of devotion, there is what you call timingala fish. Timingala fish can eat the whales. You know how big the whales are? Maybe as big as this room. But there is a timingala fish who can eat these whales. So this is the material world, the struggle for existence. Struggle for existence means trying to rule or trying to live in the expense of others. But no one survives in this material world. Everyone, ultimately, time I am, the destroyer of everything. Everyone will perish. No one lives here eternally, except the pure devotees of the Supreme Lord and Lord Krishna himself, because they are beyond the modes of material nature. They cannot be touched by the material energy. So according to Srila Prabhupada, the meaning of struggling or for the existence, survival of the fittest. I was reading this morning what he says about survival of the fittest. Because the nature of the material world is that abrahma bhubana loka punar avartino arjuna. No one from the highest Lord Brahma to the most insignificant insect, Indragopa, they're all under the jurisdiction of the material energy. Even Lord Brahma, who lives for 100 years, compared to our time scale is 311 trillion years, he still has to give up his body, which according to Bali Maharaj, Bali Maharaj says, this body is foreign. Foreign, what's foreign means? It's like we are foreigners. We come from different country. We come to India. We want to practice bhakti here, because bhakti is easier to practice in India. Especially to chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, it's easier in the holy dham like Shida Mayapur or Vrindavan or Jagannath Puri. But to enter the country, we need to apply for a visa. Even though the whole world, the whole entire creation belongs to Krishna, but each and everyone would like to have their own territory, like to expand their territories also. So, yes, survival of the fittest. Prabhupada says survival of the fittest means to be in Krishna consciousness. You don't have to die. Because the survival of the fittest, materially, the conditioned souls, one, you may be victorious over others, but then someone who is bigger than you will slap you away. He will get rid of you. And then whoever is on the top will get rid of you, and ultimately, time, the destroyer of everything. Prabhupada says survival of the fittest means to be in Krishna consciousness, to attain that level whereby there is no more repeated birth, death, old age, and disease. So everyone would like to desire. Everyone's desire is to lord it over the material nature. That means they want to be the master or the lord of all day survey. But it's not possible, because as long as we don't acknowledge that Krishna is a supreme proprietor, we will always be bewildered, baffled. We will always be in illusion, thinking that yes, I am the master. So this mentality is the root cause of conditioned life, and that's why we are still here in the material world. Because we always want to enjoy. I was reading the other day, there are two kinds of devotees. One is exploitative devotee, and one is a fully self-surrendered, 100% surrendered, no self-interest for himself, only for the pleasure of the Supreme Lord. So the exploitative devotee, he cannot be happy also, like the materialist. Exploitative devotee means he receives. See, when we come to Krishna consciousness, some if not most of us has zero balance, even negative balance. And then when we come to Krishna consciousness, we chant for some time Hare Krishna Maha Mantra and do some service, then many benefits come. And these benefits, for those who are not really fully surrendered, then they think that this is the result of their performing or trying to perform bhakti. And therefore, they only try to perform bhakti to receive more and more of these different benefits. And therefore, they will not really attain the desired goal, which is Krishna Prema. And after some time, they become bewildered by all of these different benefits that one derives from trying to perform bhakti. We're not even performing real bhakti, because this is very rare soul that is performing pure, 100%, no self-vested interest in devotional service. And therefore, there is also some kind of disparity when one performs bhakti. But a simple devotee, a humble devotee, he doesn't mind whether he has more or less than the others. A genuine devotee, actually, Prabhupada says, he doesn't get angry for those who are bewildered by the material energy. At the same time, contrary, they are very merciful, they are very compassionate towards others, to help them in their Krishna consciousness. But those who are exploitative devotee, they think they don't need any help. They think they already got it made. They made it, they're rich. No. A simple-hearted devotee, those who are surrendered, like Haridas Thakur, Prahlad Maharaj, Bali Maharaj, they're simple, but they're surrendered. And it doesn't matter whether, like Bali Maharaj, he doesn't mind even if he lose all of his possessions, his Kulaguru, Sukracharya, told him that not to give anything to to Vamanadev, because you may lose everything. Actually, Sukracharya was thinking for himself. But no, he wants to surrender everything to Lord Vamana. Even Prahlad Maharaj is the same thing. He surrendered unto Lord Vishnu. He did not follow the instructions or the guidance of his father, Hiranyakashipu. They are self-surrendered souls. So here in this verse also is mentioned that the yadus, the yadu, they killed each other here. There are 560 million in the dynasty of the Yadus, 560 members of the Yadu dynasty. Somehow or other they were teasing the sages that one of them is pregnant. He disguised himself to be a lady being pregnant and asking what will be the outcome. But then the sages, they thought these boys are foolish. So somehow or other, it is made in such a way that the Lord arranged for the Yadus to wound up their pastimes. It says here they're burdened, but they're not really burdened. How can the pure devotees of the Supreme Lord, some of them are demigods, some of them are eternal associates of the Supreme Lord, how can they be burdened to this world? The Acharya says that they are actually ornaments to this material world. Just like a woman maybe having very, very valuable jewels and necklaces and bracelets. Is it a burden for the woman to have beautiful ornaments or necklaces? No, she will not, take them out and then put them. No, she will use them. So it says also that when the Lord comes, or before the Lord comes to the material world, it is compared to a cinema. Cinema. It's like people in India, they're fond of watching Bollywood movies. So before the hero comes, or the main character comes, then the whole setup will be there. The background, the different personalities who are involved in the, let's say, the drama or the play. But the hero will not come first. He will come maybe second or after some time. And then when the movie or the play will be over, then the hero will also exit. So these pastimes between the Lord and His associates, they're enacted for the conditioned souls to attract us. Not just to kill the demons. Prabhupada says time also will annihilate them, or to protect the devotees and establish the principles of religion. Ultimately, the Lord comes to attract the conditioned souls. So these pastimes of the Pandavas retiring timely, or the Yadus, killing each other, they became intoxicated by some kind of liquor made of sugar cane. This is in the 11th canto, chapter 31, the last chapter in the 11th canto. They were drinking this myriacam liquor, very intoxicating liquor. And somehow they become so intoxicated, they said words to each other that hurt their feelings. He says words are mightier than the sword. So he says pen also is mightier than the sword, but words also, if you get cut by a weapon, that will heal after some time. You put some Dettol or something, it will heal after some time. But if you say something which is very unpleasant, very painful towards the other person, even if it's not true, then the other person will carry that pain for the rest of his or her life. So this is a play of Maya towards the Yadu dynasties, that they even run after Lord Krishna and Lord Balaram. They're trying to kill both Lord Krishna and Lord Balaram. This is, the Acharya says that this is the play of Maya to bewilder the demons, to the non-believers, that actually the Yadu dynasty also become under the modes of material nature. This is the way how Lord Krishna would like to end their pastimes. Actually, they did not kill each other. Some of them, they went back to Dwarka. To the eyes, is bewildering. It's just like a play. It's not real. So they even tried to kill Krishna and Balaram. And therefore, Krishna and Balaram also took this. They have swords, they have arrows, bows, they have clubs, they have all the different weapons they used to kill each other. But actually it is not. And after that, it says even that Lord Krishna was shot by an arrow of this hunter called Jara. But it says there that the hunter, the arrow, he thought the one that shot Lord Krishna on his heel, the hunter thought that it was a deer. But it says that it did not even touch Lord Krishna. The arrow did not touch Krishna. So yes, this is to bewilder those who are non-believers, just to show. But ultimately, they all went back home, back to Godhead. And in this spiritual world, there is no disparity. There is no unevenness. Everyone is equal in the eyes of Lord Krishna. Even in the material world, everyone is equal. Paramatma is with us. It doesn't matter which species of life we acquired due to our desires and due to the activities, previous activities that we perform. The super soul, Paramatma, the localized aspect, is always with us. It's trying to convince us that this is the way, this is the way. You follow me. But we're given this minute independence, meaning that this is like a jewel, it's a gem which the Supreme Lord has given to us. We can misuse that minute independence, or we can use properly. We can misuse that by choosing the aspect whereby we will want only to enjoy. And properly using our minute independence means I have the intelligence also to choose that whatever actions that I will do will only for the pleasure of the Supreme Lord or His pure devotees. So when in the spiritual world, everyone is equal, even a blade of grass, a speck of sand, the trees, the animals, the plants, even Yamuna, Govardhan, they're all equal. They all want to serve Lord Krishna. They all want to be a friend of Lord Krishna. They have this mood of friendship. They want to be as closer and closer and closer towards Lord Krishna. Why? Because they want to serve Him personally. And everyone is given a chance to serve the Supreme Lord. Krishna fulfills everyone's desires in this spiritual world and in the material world as well. The Prabhupada says, if you want to forget Krishna, then Krishna will also make all the arrangements for us to forget Him. And this is our main disease, forgetfulness of Krishna. In the spiritual world, this doesn't exist, forgetfulness of Krishna. Everyone is always thinking of Krishna. This is the difference. And because everyone is thinking of Krishna, Lord Krishna is also always thinking of him, or them, or everyone. I was reading, there was a book given to me yesterday, that even Krishna will one day want to kiss you. Yes, that is the title of the book. One day Krishna will kiss you also. There was a lecture given by Srila Prabhupada in Montreal. We can dance with Krishna, we can chant with Krishna, we can take prasadam with Krishna, we can serve his lotus feet. Everyone in the spiritual world, even a blade of grass, they don't want Lord Krishna's lotus feet to be pricked by small pebbles or thorns. So the grass also would like, hey, when Lord Krishna will come here so that his feet will not be harmed. Or the trees will all be bowing down unto him, even though there is no fruits. Bowing down and offering obeisances, and they will all wait for Lord Krishna to come, and when he and the other cowherd boys will come and take rest. And the cowherd boys, in order for Lord Krishna not to harm his back when he was lying down, because after playing, this is their main excuse to bring the cows for pasturing in the lush green grasses of Vrindavan. But this is their excuse, but their main intention is to play with each other, to have play, like kids. They always want to play. So they will prepare, 4 or 5 cowherd boys will prepare a very soft bed made of rosebuds, small twigs and leaves, and they will also make a pillow for him, the same. But then he will push the pillow made by the cowherd boys, and he will lie down and his head onto the lap of Sridham. Another 3 or 4 cowherd boys will also massage him, his legs. And sometimes he will also, Lord Krishna will massage Lord Balaram's legs and body to relieve him from fatigue. So the spiritual world is like that. There is no disparity, it says here. There is no disparity because everyone wants to render service to the Supreme Lord, and no one wants to imitate the Lord in becoming the beneficiary. When one comes to the platform, whereby all of his activities is only for the pleasure of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, then he is on the transcendental platform. That is the mood of the Brajabasis. And sometimes the Sakas will think Krishna as equal to them. And Krishna will let them think in that way and also deal with him in such a way. Krishna never diminish his position. Usually he likes this, that he's been treated in a subordinate way. If we tell others, they may not be able to understand immediately that God is seemingly lesser than us when it comes to relationship. They're always thinking that God is the greatest. Of course, God is the greatest, but this is His greatness, that He will allow His devotees to, like Mother Yasoda, Nanda Maharaj, and even other cowherd boys, to even ride on His shoulder. If we tell this to others, that you can ride on God's shoulder, or you can ask God to carry the slippers or be chastised, they will not understand, they will not believe. So the process is very easy. As Prabhupada says, 100% engagement in the service of the Lord. Therefore, if one is engaged 100%, that means 24 hours, then there is no Maya can touch him. Maya has no jurisdiction. And this is the same for his devotees, who are, Maya cannot touch Krishna, and the same with his devotees, because of the relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. They always know that whatever they will do is only for His pleasure or the pleasure of His devotees, fellow devotees. So survival doesn't mean one should die. It means one should not die, but should enjoy the everlasting blissful life of knowledge. This is the survival of the fetus. So we have to use our knowledge properly in order to attain that, to survive. Intelligence, there is this meaning of utsaha, enthusiastic. Devotees are always enthusiastic because they're always using their intelligence, how to serve the Lord or how to spread Krishna consciousness, especially by giving others the holy name of the Lord. Knowledge about Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, being compassionate towards the conditioned souls. And we should be like that also, but it starts at home. So there's a saying, charity starts at home. We should be compassionate with each other. If you see others, fellow devotees are struggling, then we should also help them as much as possible, whatever we can. If we see that they are in Maya, then if you have a relationship with them, then you can slap a little bit of their cheeks. Wake up, wake up. And even if we don't have a relationship, we can try our best. Instead of becoming angry or becoming envious, we should try our best to help each other. In this way, then we'll have a really happy family. Peaceful and happy family. Serving Lord the Lord and His pure devotees. So there will be no disparity then, even while in the material world. We'll stop here now. Are there any points, any comments on this? Bhaktarupa Prabhu.
We can just imagine if someone now living in this Kali Yuga, after 5,000 years in Kali Yuga, he was claiming that he was a descendant of Krishna, the Yadvan dynasty. And he had some idea about spiritual matters, how it would be a problem for the devotees. So that's another reason why every single member of the Yadvan dynasty had to be...
Has to be not wiped out, has to exit. Because then you really get wiped away or wiped out. It's a good point. The teachings is preserved. That's why Lord Krishna, before he left, at the age of 125, 126, he spoke the Bhagavad Gita for the benefit of us. Otherwise, we can be bewildered also if there is some members of the Yadu dynasty will be remained in that way. But I've read, a few of them also remained, like Daruka is also member, even though he's a chariot driver of Lord Krishna. Uddhava also.
He went back.
He went back also, of course, yes. He went back.
In front of everyone, he went on his period.
Jai. Everybody. It is like, behind the curtain. It's like, somehow Krishna is very tricky in this way, how he planned the whole episode for the Yadu dynasty to return. Because they're very powerful, but they will not misuse their power to be like a burden of the world. Yes. Thank you, Prabhu. Anything else? Yes, Prabhuji? Give the mic.
Hare Krishna. As you were explaining about the pastimes of the Lord which are bewildering to the non-believers, and along with this pastime there are other pastimes also which are bewildering. So just wanted to understand, why does Lord wish to bewilder? Because it also simultaneously becomes a problem for the devotees to spread Krishna consciousness, those pastimes, in order to... why does Lord wish to bewilder us rather than...
The bewilderment is there so that they will not criticize too much. They will, because this is the age of Kali. It says that this is the age where more atheists, more non-believers, so their only hope is for the devotees, mercy. And this is the time, we take this chance to educate them or give this knowledge. The bewilderment is temporary also. In the beginning, we don't know any of this. We are also bewildered. Right, Bhaktarupa Prabhu? We don't know anything. I've been reading Bhagavad Gita for 2, 3 years, 5 years. I don't know what's going on. But then when I met the devotees, because when I came to Canada, I ordered Bhagavad Gita. I never met any devotees. I ordered Bhagavad Gita from Los Angeles through mail. So that was 1980. And then I met the devotees. I went to the temple 1984. It still doesn't, a little bit. But then I started to understand. And the devotees, they're the ones who give faith, even to the non-believers, to the atheists. It says to attain faith, you need the mercy, even small amount of mercy from the Supreme Lord's devotees, from Prabhupada or his representatives. And they engage you somehow in Krishna consciousness, even a small amount. And this is how we come to Krishna consciousness. We're all atheists. We're all non-believers. Yes? Even people from India, most of them, they don't have a clue what is Bhagavad Gita. And Bhagavad Gita, we distribute lakhs and lakhs of them every year. Bewilderment is there, yes. It's natural. But then when you meet the devotees, all of them will be like slowly, gradually will be wiped away. Okay? So we stop here. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The Yadu dynasty ki jai. Nitai Gop Premanandi Hari Hari Bol.
Jaya